Drock. So not much has happened this game so far. We just won a few hands. We mainly had it. Let's have a check here against Drock. Could bet this for sure. Could have gone for a bet check bet. Would have been an interesting spot to study in a big blind versus small blind swap. I might try something really kind of exploitative and just go for a small raise here, with the goal being he'll call worse and also fold equity, and also maybe we have equity to bluff or outdraw a 6 or a hand like Queen 10, King 10, etc, etc. I think we have the best hand here now, and he donks again. So like we lose to an 8, but I think he's got a lot of 6x maybe, or maybe a 10-9 or a 10-7 or a Queen 9 or clubs or a whole multitude of stuff. We unblock all of them. It's a bit of an exploitative turn raise. It's a bit of an exploitative play all round, but let's try. It's got an 8. Good. Well played us. Didn't work out, huh? Thought that might check the river, but anyway. It says unstable. They're just talking about me. I'm very stable. This, Twitch is lying. This is a very stable streamer, guys. Nothing unstable about this. Thank you very much. We're back. That's good. That's good. Sorry to everybody that had to press refresh. I apologise for your terrible hardship. Going to go for another bet here. Again, think we have the best hand. Can deny equity. Can fold out worse. Sorry, can fold out better. Can get called by worse. Slash, I don't think we can check call very comfortably. And we get a fold, which is fine. It's kind of like a blocky, mergy bet sort of thing with a small sizing. Pretty hard for that to be wrong. Would be bad if we got, like, say, bluff raise, but I don't think that's too typical at the meta at the 10s. We go for a min raise ace king. Drocky's here. Now we know Drocky's got a donk with some bets, so I might mean I'm more likely to bet here. Just go for a little bet. Again, would be bad if he check raises a lot. I don't think we'll see check raise bluffs typically on this board. He goes for a call. I would typically range him not towards a jack X plus. King, queen, queen, 8, 8, 7 are there. Could go for a bet. That's definitely an option. Can also go for a check. The queen's obviously massive value. The king's dodgy. Bet's an option for sure. I think I'm going to try that. Let's go for a half pot. And probably end up jamming river if he calls. If he shoves, it's whatever. Now we're kind of more chill, but all right. Think we get called by worse sometimes, weirdly enough, when he has, like, let's say a hand like King 8 or Queen 6 or whatever. We definitely get folds from better, from 9x and 10x. And so I think, again, it's quite a mergy sort of bet that works quite effectively in that situation against a lot of the population. Limps button, I guess we'll shove and hope it's not a trap. We have no info on their limps. He did have an 8, I forgot about that. That was a bit embarrassing. Anyway, good amount they were playing for. Lot of options here. I'm going to start with a call. We will probably call a shove if we go shove, fold, call. Shove, shove, fold. Now a 10-eye boards. Again, we only know, the only thing we know about Drock's limping range is that he limp folded once. I think we start with check here. Not too worried about too many overs. So there's obviously the ace or king would be bad. Queen's fine, jack's fine, whatever. Gives an opportunity to one of them to bet. If he does choose to min bet, I'll probably end up raising. I think at this SPR against what probably is a bit of a weaker range. Jack comes, which not one of the better turns, but not terrible. Again, we just check here. Not thrilled if we face a big bet from a shove from DGGF, but probably just cool. Given the price and given the kind of hands he could have. He still could have a 10 at this point. Drock goes for min bet. I don't think it makes sense to raise at this point. We did see him bet small with a pair, but which is cool. And let's see what the river brings. 5. All right. Now, the only thing we could do here is maybe check if he ever... But I don't think it makes sense that he would... we could min bet, for example. And see if he wants to call with like a ace queen or something. Or a 9x is maybe part of his range as well. I don't know how much jack x is in the min betting range, but it definitely could be. I don't know if this is anything but a jack x. Limp. Check, 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 flop. Check, check, min bet. Check, check, 2BB bet. Doesn't feel very bluffy, does it? Just not betting worse for value. Okay. Oh, you didn't get... I said that. I read it all. I laughed. Cat itch. It was an excellent post. Let me try and reenact my response. Fantastic, Kadix. I'm really happy that I've been a good influence on you. If Twitch is watching, that is a joke. Please don't ban us. We are here for responsible poker only. Kadix is joking there, I think. But I'm happy to have been an inspiration to your terrible bankroll management ways. Alright, Ilimte's queen. Okay, so fair enough. King queen's gonna take it down. Luciano Pavarotti. Welcome, 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 amico. I just joined the chat after listening for weeks, at least. Very good stream. Thank you very much, Luciano. Flasher entertaining. Thank you very much, Luciano Pavarotti. Grazie mille, amico. Grazie mille. Come va, amico? Buonasera. Buona fortuna a tutti italiano, ragazzi. Let's call the king 5. Let's see king jack. Let's hit the 5. Let's not hit the jack. Let's not hit the queen. Let's just get our chips in. We're doing well on this bankroll challenge in terms of running above EV, by the way. I'm pretty sure our EV is below minus 100. On an EV deal, I think we'd already be broke. You know what? It's not an EV deal, is it? It's actually money, so... we go for an ISO. Take the aggressive ISO strategy. I think typically you'll see probably overlimp folds early on. DGF was a reg that we played with on Monday, and the notes were, if anyone remembers, I'm happy to share my notes given we probably won't play them too much. Min raise ace2 off, button, ISO jam 7s, blind v blind, check back ace7, 658, button versus big blind. Great 300 notes there, nothing heads up, so we'll just have a look and see. Check the 810, check the 810. Were they very limp stub heavy? I can't remember. A lot of the, let's say, natural flaws maybe of, not flaws, but tendencies, let's say, of lower stakes regs, maybe they just over limp stab slightly. So you might want to take some more check raises, although to be honest with value, it's less clear. I don't think this will be bluffed very much, so I'm going to make a bit of an exploitative turn probe, which isn't that good a thing, but I think it's just difficult to respond effectively against it. So I'm going to go 1.9. I think you get called a lot here with, let's say, hands like King Jack, Queen Jack, Diamonds, 9x. All of those I think will check back the turn otherwise. And when we get folds anyway. I don't think this is a turn that gets, let's say, double barreled as a bluff almost ever. Now, I may be wrong there, but let's assume that as a starting point. Let's say DGGF or a $10 egg doesn't double barrel enough here with a bluff. Well, then all of a sudden, you node lock that and you kind of want to value bet yourself with your value. And it would be very exploitable because we check and our checking range is really weak. That's the point. That's what we're trying to do because we expect our opponents not to bluff enough. So it's good to make a weak checking range. We will call King 8. We're keeping our fingers crossed. We're keeping our fingers crossed. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Nice. Catch says, yeah, don't ban Tom, please, Twitch. If I lose my house, it's just because of my degenerate brain, not his fault. I'll be honest, they're banning gambling. They need to ban this bankroll challenge because I am not playing very... So far, the EV has not been a sign of skill. But you know what? We're now 50% higher in a bankroll management. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the peak here while we can because it's all downhill from now. Luciano says, it's not actually my native English. Can you say it in French as well? That is your native language. Bien sûr, monsieur. Bienvenue. Merci beaucoup. Bonne chance. Tout. Moi, je m'appelle Tom. J'habite en Angleterre. J'ai un chien. Où est la baguette? La baguette est sur la table. Où est la souris? La souris mange. So we'll go for a bet here for a few reasons. I think typically most regs would have quite a straightforward approach on the turn and probe the strong hands and check more of a weak hand. So I think it's quite a cap range. Do think there'll be some natural check calls which could be worse, could check call a flush draw or whatever. But also we have loads of equity. We're kind of happy to bet it, build a pot a bit if we hit. And also we're happy to take the folds if he's got air because I mean we still deny some equity and we deny some, crucially, not only equity but we deny bluff equity, which is an important concept. So on that turn, it's not about the outs necessarily our opponent has, but also the bluff outs. And so we give him just air, 10-2 off. Well, he still can hit with 4 of his outs, or 6 of his outs, depending on whether he's holding whatever. But the other problem is he still could hit a multitude of bluff outs, and we can't really hear a call very happily with ace high, so we're pretty happy to bet there. Just going to check fold this. Don't think it makes too much sense to bluff. He could have a flush here. He could have some 2 pairs. Probably not on the turn, but on the river. Could have king 8. Can't really have a straight. If this was a king of clubs, you could think about doing something funny and maybe going for a shove or something. But I think on the king of spades, we definitely don't want to bet. Do we ever want to check call? Is he bluffing enough here? Don't know, so I will assume not. Alright, we'll go for a little block bet here. Try and get called by the 4. Same hand. Nice hand set. Nice hand, evacal. So that's worth making a note of, because he went for a semi-bluff on the flop, which not everybody does. And so I do think that's somewhat... I will take a note of that. So BB versus small blind, bet 5-7 off on 4-3 to limp 25x effective. And it's worth these little notes, because like that already gives us an indicator, because some opponents would never bet there. They would just be like, oh, I'm only going to check. So already that elevates our opponent. Evac, congratulations for betting that flop. And I think you play the turn river very solidly as well by not raising or being anything stupid. Maybe turn you're going to raise maybe, but I think it's pretty standard the way you played it. Lisa and I have a few questions, to be honest, in français. I'm going to try. Shall I try? It's probably a bad idea. Is the stable more for flash players or regular spinners as well? I can't do it in French. It's for both. What are the chip EV of the coaches and the limits? So I will release a screenshot soon when I have my 10k sample at the 250s plus, which is soon. It would have been already done, but I lost my older games, so unfortunately I don't have. I would have had my pie sample done ages ago. But the little spoiler is, unless it goes terribly well or terribly badly, we're looking at 5 for 250s plus with a little. And then what are we going to do here? Let's go for a half pot. Could also check this sometimes, by the way. We have guys who are doing double digits at the 50s. We have guys doing double digits at the 10s. We have lots of guys making. Chippy also, by the way, is a pretty poor, I would say, representative of like actual kind of poker these days, because it's so dependent on table count and volume and rake back and all these kind of things. Going to check this river. I don't think we get triple barrels from a king. 10 of hearts is all there. Jack of hearts, queen of hearts are all uncapped. 6 is still maybe there, although 6 of hearts means fewer. Does he call a king if we triple barrel? I don't think so. But he might have done. Maybe that's a disaster. I'm not sure. What's the difference between flashes and regulars in terms of population? So flashes, in terms of the pop that play them, you will get probably slightly more recreational playing flashes, because it's a bit more exciting, a bit quicker, right? It doesn't take as long. You play a lot more flashes per hour, but your available edge in flashes is reduced, obviously. So that's definitely one of the difference. What free videos would you suggest me to taking more strategy? The Team 6 of 1 YouTube video, of course. Thank you very much for the question, Luciano. I hope it helped. Alright, so we check. We know Evacal is capable of betting some draws, so we expect he doesn't have so much 6-5, 6-4, given also we block it as well. So his range is some 3x. We don't know if he bets pairs, but I would say probably he's more likely to bet pairs. So I'm going to check this again. I'm waiting more towards absolute air now at this point. Still waiting towards absolute air. We could min bet and hope that Queen high calls, but I think it's better to check. There are some blockers now, so any 6x, any 4x is a straight blocker, might be compelled to bluff. If he checks back 9-6 here, it's a disaster, but I think most people would bluff that. And given that he bet a flop with a bluff, I think he might be more likely to bluff this turn, river. So I don't think it makes sense to raise, even though we have the best hand. I'm also curious to see if we're accurate with our ranging. So let's just call and let's see 9-6 off. 8-6 off. Oh, it's so close, it's so close. I was going to say 8-6 off as well. We've been 1 off today in both times, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Ross, for the brag. Yeah. Little bit of the brag there. It's gonna get. I tell you, it's gonna get worse in about 2 weeks' time when I'll be like, oh, I've just accidentally left my chippy graph line about. What is that doing? By the way, you can also type in graph and you get my stars results if you're interested, but they're now quite old. But back in the day, we have, you know, you can see all the, I literally can't remember what it is, but type, Luciano, you type graph or something. I don't even know what you type, but you get the poker stars results from the old Texas Tollman. We did not win that game, and that's very disappointing because I liked how we played. But okay, we'll go again.